Right, today we're going to look back at the race car game we looked at last time, but this time we're going to add some different levels. If you remember, what the game did was you drove the car around. If you hit the grass, it would reset. But if you got to the finish line, which hopefully I can do in the next couple of seconds, it says well done, and it gives you the time when you reset. But that's it, it doesn't do anything more than that. So what we're going to do, we're going to add some extra levels. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to create a new stage. So I'm going to click on the background. I'm going to stop the game to start, and then I'm going to click on the background, the stage, and then click on the background. And I'm going to paint a new background. And I'm going to paint it in exactly the same way. And it is important to keep the same background colour, and I would say the same basic idea of the level. And we're going to make the track maybe slightly more difficult. Okay, just going to make sure this is actually doable, and then we're going to put our purple finish line in, and it has to be the same colour purple finish line. Then I'm going to click OK. Hopefully I have put the same colour purple. Yes, it looks like it. And we've got two fairly different tracks. Okay, now I'm going to click on background 2 and click on the sprite and click on my scripts and check what happens when I click this. And it does start on the track. Now this is important because you can't change this. It has to always start in the same place. And in this case, the car's in the right place. It starts on the track. So the game wouldn't work. Because for the most part, all the programming stays the same. The car will still behave in the same way. It still drives around the same way. And if it touches the green, you have the same idea. I'm not running the program, which is why that thing hasn't come up. We'll come back and it will set back to the same place. Okay, so that is important. I'm just going to get back to our beginning start. What I need to do is add some scripts to both the car, or what happens when it touches the finish line, and also to the stage itself. I'm going to start with the stage. Normally you don't run many scripts on the stage, but to run a new level you have to. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a variable. Okay, what this is just pretty much a timer or a list, and I'm going to call it next level to make it very obvious what it's about. Okay, I'm going to click OK, and it gives you a number of options. You can see it actually appears. It's just like a timer. Now I'm going to leave that on there for now, but eventually you will want to untick it and get rid of it because it's not important for the game. It's just here while you're building it. And now I have this. Okay. The first thing I want to do, I want to make sure when we start the game, it starts on the first level of the game. Okay, so I'm going to do two things. I want to make sure we set next level to 0, and that will become clear in a moment why we're doing that. And I want to make sure the look of the level is it's set to background 1, which is the first background on our list. That's our first level. Okay, that's important to start off with. Then I need to actually put in the script which will tell it to change the level. And this will relate to what the car is doing and the background. I'm going to build the background bit first, and then we'll add the car piece in. Because basically what I want to happen is when the car crosses the purple line, as well as it's saying, well done, you've got the last level, it tells the program, switch to the next level. Okay, it flicks straight away to the next level. So, this also will start when clicked, and I want it to make sure it repeats forever, because this is always going to happen. And it's going to be a wait command. I have to wait for something to happen, and then I wanted to switch to the next background. And this is where our sort of our variable comes in. Is I need to wait until the next level, and there are other ways of doing it. This is the easiest way I think of doing it. Wait until I want to, not wait. So wait until, which is this one, because that does not fit in there, because it's the same size. I want to wait until the next level bit says 1. Okay, now I only want it to say 1. Every time I restart the program, I will reset that counter back to 0. So I only want it to say 1. And oops, I've missed off a bit which says next background. Once it's done that, it's going to reset it back to 0. So that way we're only ever dealing with 1 number. It's only ever going to go up to 1. Every time the background resets, it goes back to 0. So I can keep adding levels. This piece of program will stay forever. It will work for adding more and more levels or stages. that's that bit done. Now I need to tell the car to start actually adjusting this variable, to start adding 1 to it. So I'm going to go back to the sprite of the car, and then I'm only going to be looking at this bit. I don't need to look at anything else. Everything else works. It's just the part when it touches the line. Okay? And 2 things need to happen. One, I need to reset the car back to where it began from. So I actually want this blue bit, so I'm just going to duplicate this and whack it in there. So now what currently this is saying is when it touches the purple, it says well done, and the car's going to go back to where it is here. But the only other thing I want it to do is I want it to change that next level variable by 1. I want it to add 1 to it. And when you add 1 to it, I've already told the stage when the next level is equal to 1, you flick to the next background. Okay? That might not be very clear for some people, but it does work. I'm telling the car is telling the background to add 1, and then it flicks on to the next level. You have to. This is the only way to link the sprite to the background. If I click stop, click play, the background has already reset, so I know that it works. If I play the car all the way through, and when I touch here, well done, you've won. This will change to 1 very briefly, but there you go, there's the next level, and I can play around. And if I go into the green, oh no, you've come off the track, flicks back. But what's nice about this, of course, is, whoops, I've done it wrong again, so let me reset. This is harder now, which is good. It's supposed to be harder. This is the 2nd level of our game. And it will always go down. And what will happen here when I touch this is it will go back to probably the original level because I haven't got any more levels. 15.9. There you go, it's gone back to the original level. Now if I stop this, I'm going to untick that next level thing because I don't want it. I don't want it to appear. What's nice about the program I've now done is now I can just keep adding as many levels as I want, and it will just keep going and going and going. So I'm just going to whack one more in really quickly just to show you what I mean. In Paint, 1 new level. I'm going to make the background green. I'm going to make grey road. The brush still needs to be quite big. This does still need to start over here, but this time I'm going to make it really windy. Okay, and then I need my purple line. Just going to go here. Okay, so I'm going to click OK, and hopefully, yes, my car is in the right place, which is great. It might take a little bit of trial and error with that. Then click stop and play. My level starts off. It's playing quite happily. And then, well done, you've won. It's going to flip to my new level, which is great. And what now should happen automatically, because I've set this to do it, there is now a 3rd level on our list. As I play the game, well done, you've won. It's giving me my score, and then it flicks me to the newest level. So once you've done this once, you can keep adding level. You can have 50 or 60 levels easily, as long as you remember the start point has to be the same, which isn't too bad. But each time this is making this harder, and I'm just about to do it, and when I touch this one, it will go all the way back to the beginning screen. There you go. Okay, hopefully that's helpful, and there will be more videos to come soon.